Welcome to the Chaplain Global Consulting Group Cruise Concierge Academy series, your countdown to your cruise. As always, we are guiding your world of travel one journey at a time. The Countdown to Your Cruise series has a variety of topics to prepare you for your next cruise.
Hello everyone, this is Selena with Chaplain Global Consulting Group LLC, and welcome to our official Cruise Countdown series. Each Friday, I'll share a bite-sized step-by-step update to help you prepare for your upcoming sailing. Whether this is your very first cruise or you're a seasoned sailor, we will tackle all your pre-boarding logistics, starting with your travel documents. We'll also walk you through completing your check-in and navigating the Royal Caribbean app. Once your paperwork is set, we'll dive into planning your onboard lifestyle. You'll learn how to manage your onboard accounts and handle gratuities, and how to select the perfect drink packages and book unforgettable excursions. My goal is simple. I want you and everyone in your cabin to board that ship feeling confident and totally cruise ready. This is Selena with Chaplain Global Consulting Group LLC. Let's get ready to sail. Hello everyone, and welcome to the CGCG Cruise Concierge Academy. I'm Selena, and I'll be guiding you through today's session. The two most stressful parts of any cruise are embarking and debarking. Arriving at the terminal with missing or incorrect paperwork is the fastest way to trigger travel anxiety, or worse, get turned away at the port. Today, we are going to eliminate that risk entirely. This roadmap graphic outlines the exact sequence we will cover to guarantee a smooth boarding day. We will move systematically through your foundational documents, your digital ecosystem, the online check-in process, and finally, your boarding day logistics. By getting these specific requirements organized today, you bypass the confusion at the terminal and step straight onto your ship, ready to enjoy your vacation. Let's begin. Your very first task is to physically locate the primary identification documents for everyone in your travel party. Do this today. As seen here, the name on your physical ID must perfectly match your cruise reservation. You must bring physical documents. Terminal security will immediately reject any photographs, digital images, or photocopies of your identification. This comparison chart breaks down your two main physical ID options. A valid passport is always the superior choice. It secures fast customs clearance and gives you the ability to fly home in a medical emergency. For U.S. citizens on closed-loop itineraries starting and ending in the same port, you can substitute a passport using this formula. Present an official, state-certified original birth certificate with a seal, plus a valid government-issued photo ID. Hospital prints won't work. Minors follow strict documentation rules as well. If a child is traveling with someone who is not their legal parent or guardian, customs frequently requires additional official consent documentation before clearing them to board. Missing a single required document at the terminal results in denied boarding with no refund. Possessing the correct, physically verified paperwork is the single most critical factor in your preparation. Next, you will use two platforms to manage your itinerary. This Venn diagram maps the specific roles of the Royal Caribbean app and the website. First, download the mobile app immediately, log in, and link your reservation. You will know your reservation is successfully linked when your specific ship, exact sail date, and countdown clock appear on the app's home screen. For complex logistics, shift to the desktop website. Navigating menus, comparing drink packages, and coordinating schedules is significantly easier on a large screen. Log into the website to access your cruise planner. This is where you pre-book shore excursions, secure specialty dining reservations, and reserve seats for limited-capacity entertainment shows. Prime dining times and popular excursions sell out fast. By interacting with both the app and the website early, you secure your preferred schedule long before you step foot on the ship. Online check-in opens between 30 and 60 days before your sail date. You need to complete this process the absolute moment it becomes available. This graphic details the 4 check-in steps. First, scan your travel documents. Second, upload a clear security photo for facial recognition boarding. Third, link a credit card for your onboard expense account. Finally, select your specific terminal arrival time. You will notice a health questionnaire section as well. This remains locked by design, becoming available for completion only the day before you embark. Your selected arrival time dictates when you enter the terminal. Checking in rapidly is the only way to secure the earliest possible boarding slot. Successfully completing those 4 check-in steps generates your Set Sail Pass. This is your official digital boarding ticket. Your first action is to save a copy of the Set Sail Pass directly to your smartphone's digital wallet. Then, implement the fail-safe strategy. Print a physical copy. Cell service at terminals is unreliable, and batteries die. Carrying a physical backup of this digital document guarantees that a technology failure cannot delay your boarding process. Let's review our ready-to-sail dashboard. You have verified your physical IDs match your reservation perfectly. You've linked your app, completed your online check-in early, and secured physical backups of your boarding passes. Which brings us to our final CGCG concierge tip for boarding day. Never pack your travel documents, your Set Sail Pass, or your essential medications in your large checked luggage. When you arrive at the port, porters will take your large checked bags before you even reach the security line. If your passport is inside one of those bags, you will not be allowed inside the building. Keep your essentials in a small personal carry-on that stays attached to you. I'm Selena, representing the Chaplain Global Consulting Group. Thank you for joining this session of the CGCG Cruise Concierge Academy. Preparation brings confidence, and confidence guarantees smooth sailing. Enjoy your journey.
Thank you for joining this week's CGCG Cruise Concierge Academy Countdown to your Cruise Lesson 1. Please review this information, share it with the guests in your cabin, and reach out if you have questions. This is Selena with Chaplain Global Consulting Group LLC, reminding you that we are guiding your world of travel, one journey at a time. Knowledge, confidence, smooth sailing, we've got you covered. You have now completed Lesson 1 of the CGCG Cruise Concierge Academy. However, if you would like additional information, please continue to watch each of the additional videos for more clarification. The upcoming information will relate to travel documents.
A very common question of first-time cruisers is, do you need a passport to take a cruise? This is unfortunately not a strictly yes or no question. It is more of a it depends situation. Not to worry, I will have it all worked out for you within just a few minutes, so hopefully you can start booking that cruise vacation that you've been dreaming about for years. The first thing I will tell you is that if you do have a passport, getting on and off the cruise ship will be easier. The 2 most stressful parts of a cruise are embarking and debarking. Having a passport will get you through security and customs faster and with less waiting. Another reason why it's better to have a passport is in case of an emergency. For instance, if you're in a foreign country like the Bahamas and you need to fly home for a medical treatment, you could have a difficult time regaining entry into America without a passport. That being said, getting a passport is somewhat expensive, and it can take a long time to get it once you apply. If you find yourself in a situation where it makes more sense to skip the hassle of getting a passport, here are your options. First, there are only certain locations you can go without a passport on a cruise ship. They are Alaska, the Bahamas, Bermuda, Cozumel, New England and Canada, the Caribbean, Hawaii, and Baja, Mexico. Anywhere else you want to take a cruise, you need to have a passport to even board the ship. If you decide to cruise one of the locations I just mentioned without a passport, you will still need a valid boarding pass for the cruise you're taking, a government photo ID if you're 16 years or older, and a certified birth certificate. So if you're going to one of these locations and have all the documents I just listed, you should be good to go. Just make sure you have all your ducks in a row before you try to board the cruise ship, as there have been many people turned away if they're missing even one of these required documents. My advice is, if at all possible, get a passport regardless of where you're going to take a cruise. Passports are good for 10 years from the date issued, and more than likely you're going to want to go on another international adventure at some point in that time. At least I hope so. Not only will it make your cruise experience easier, but passports are a great way to make your way through security at the airport as well. There you have it. I hope this answered all your questions about cruising with or without a passport. Have you also been wondering if you will get seasick on a cruise? or what cruise ship dress codes are like. Check out this playlist with all of our most popular FAQs for first-time cruisers. Always remember, no matter what your destination is or what cruise line you choose, adventure awaits.
The additional information will relate to using the Royal Caribbean app on your devices.
Hey everybody, it's Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend, and that means I am constantly in the Royal Caribbean app. I am using my cell phone, going into the Royal Caribbean app, and seeing what is available. What does my schedule look like every single week on board the cruise? And so I've learned a thing or two and wanted to share all that with you in this masterclass. So to make sure when you get to the cruise port, and then when you get onto the cruise ship, you're gonna know exactly what to do. Now, I'm not gonna cover how to check in. I'm gonna leave that to you all to hopefully figure out. But once you are fully checked in, you've downloaded the app, look for the Royal icon that is here, that I have on my screen. You're gonna click on it, and it is gonna take you directly into the app. First place you're gonna wanna go is you're gonna click on the profile at the very top, the profile icon, if you will. And that's gonna give you what cruise you're on, or the cruise that the app is showing. If you've got a couple of them booked, make sure you've got the right one listed for you and for the sailing you wanna have questions about or just learn some more about. So this is the August 25th sailing that I'm currently on, so I am in the right one. Before you get to the cruise port, click on this View Set Sail Pass button down here in the bottom. That's going to give you your actual set sail pass, the barcode they can scan in to quickly get you on board if you checked in advance. In the upper right hand corner, it's also going to have your check-in time should you forget that. I would also say take a quick screenshot of this or a screen grab of this, so when you get to the port, if there's bad Wi-Fi, not good cell reception, it's really easy to find in your photos. Just go to it, show it to the people, and it'll scan in nice and easy. The next place that we're going to go is going to be the ship up in the very top left. These are the three icons that you're really going to stay in, though this one, I'm going to say you're not going to stay in it that terribly much. The biggest thing that is on this screen that you may want to use every now and again is say, what's on deck 5? And so if you click on the ship here, it's going to take you to a deck map where you can see where everything is located at. You're going to want to switch around and make sure what deck you are on for the bottom section. Flip that to the deck that you want to look at, and it'll show you everything that is there, and you can scroll around. So great way to explore the ship without actually having to walk all around the ship. The other thing that you might want to come to here is going to be the Services tab. It's the only other thing I haven't found really placed somewhere else, but it'll give you some of the services that are offered on board if you need to take advantage of these. Coming back over, everything else on this screen is going to be on the next screen. So if I click back here to the middle, everything else, all those other buttons, they're going to be captured here. So this is really your home screen. The first thing that I'll point out though is the calendar at the top. If you double click on that calendar, it'll actually show you where your cruise ship is going. Something I forget all the time. I'm constantly having conversations with people and I'm saying, oh, I'm going on a cruise. They're like, where's it going? I'm like, that's a great question. Let me see where it's going. So I'm always double tapping on that icon, but that's one that took me months to learn that it was actually there. The next thing that you're going to come down, you're going to see that there is a gangway down and gangway up time. Those are the gangway down is the anticipated time you'll be able to get off the ship in your port. Today, you see I am in perfect day Coco Cay. All aboard for us is at 5 p.m. and you see that in small little writing here. And then we've got 83 and partly cloudy. It's actually been really rainy. So I don't know how accurate that is, but it's been really rainy today. The next thing you're going to do is where it says our gangway here, deck 1 midship, click on that. That's going to give you a lot of information that you used to find on the front page of the cruise planner. By the way, they've gone green. They no longer automatically deliver cruise planners to the staterooms, and you've got to make special requests for that. But it's going to give you all the information about when all aboard is, when you can expect to get off, towels, wheelchairs. They've got some flags information. They talk about the VAT in Coco Cay because it is a Bohemian island. And this is one that, a lot of people always wonder is, what do I wear? What is tonight's wear? Is it formal night? Is it dress your best? Smart casual? Caribbean? That's going to be listed here in the Dress to Impress section. You've got the benefits of the Crown and Anchor Society, smoking areas, and then just wash your hands. A friendly reminder there. These do change by the day as well, so make sure that when you're going into it, you're looking at the day that you have questions on. If you want to say, like for me, I'm in Nassau tomorrow, what's some information I can get for Nassau? When's my all aboard time? It's going to be right here for you. So flipping back to the home screen, you'll then see Daily Planner and My Calendar. So I'm just going to swipe up on the Daily Planner, drag that all the way up, and it's going to give me a ton of activities. So best bet is these filters at the top are going to become your best friend. If you try to scroll through all of these, you're welcome to do it. There's a ton of them, but for your own sanity, you can really narrow them down by clicking on Activities. That's going to give you what are the activities on the ship that you can do, and you see what some of these options are here. I personally normally just always go to Entertain. That is my favorite filter because it's going to tell me when the shows are, when the movies are, when's the headliner coming on. And what I can do here is if I find one that I want to do, let me say I want to go see Once Upon a Time tonight. I clicked into it. It'll give me a description of everything about Once Upon a Time, but I can add this to my calendar. And I'll show you how this populates or comes through in a little bit later. Again, make sure you've got the date or the day down at the bottom correct. Sometimes it does get changed, but you're welcome to go through excursions. If you want to find some excursions to do, like in Nassau tomorrow, you can do that, and you can even reserve and pay for it directly through the app, and this will give you some information about that excursion. You can always go to the excursions desk to ask additional questions, but they do make it where that's not necessary anymore. So let me come over to My Calendar at the very top. So Daily Planner has everything in it for whatever you want to do. My Calendar is only for those things that you have reserved. So if you went in and reserved it, maybe you made specialty dining reservations at Chops or Izumi, that's going to show through in your app. And you see that my production showtime Once Upon a Time that you saw me reserve has fully made it into My Calendar. They used to, and I haven't seen these recently, you used to get notifications about these. So, you'd get notifications 30 minutes prior. I think I'm still getting them. Maybe I don't even see them anymore because I'm just accustomed to them. But I think that you actually get notifications, which is great for me because I definitely get distracted doing other things. So if I pull this back down, we're going to see all of the icons now down at the bottom. So you can go into dining. This is one that I use a lot because I'm a growing boy and I get hungry. So if you are hungry now, this is going to give you a list of all of the restaurants and venues you can get food that are currently open. If it is closed, it's not going to be listed here. So if you come in here at 3 in the morning, you're not going to see anything listed. If you come here at, this is lunchtime because it's 2:06, you're going to see a good number of things listed, including those things that are on CocoK that are also open. Though if you have questions about other things, you can click on restaurants and learn about the different table options or chef's table. You can learn about Chops Grill, El Loco Fresh. It's going to give you information for all of the restaurants. It's going to give you information for main dining. The neat thing to main dining, if I click on, let's say deck 4 here, I can see when the first seating is, when the second seating is. Your CPass card or your Set Sail Pass will let you know what time you're going. Click on menu here, and this will actually show you what the menu is going to be for the night that you are looking at. So for tonight, first seating, here's all the food that they're going to have, and they have a ton. So make sure you are scrolling through all this, getting prepared, and you can see what they're offering. Again, make sure you've got the right day selected. So if you wanted to say, hey, I'm finishing up dinner, and I'm already kind of curious what they're going to be having for tomorrow, click on that, and you can scroll down and see what all they're going to be serving for dinner tomorrow night and start deciding what you want. Maybe you're somebody that takes a little while to figure out what's for dinner for you. It's also going to give you bars and lounges. We've got plenty of those on Royal Caribbean ships. It's going to give you the hours of operations, as well as you can kind of see what the menu is going to be at the bar there. So some of the bars have different menus, so you can kind of check out and see what you may want to order. Most of the time, though, they can always make the same drink in other bars if you can find someone who knows about it. Coffee and snacks is another one. Sprinkles here. This is a fan favorite for the children. Make sure you're checking it out. This can give you the hours that it is open. That is the soft serve ice cream, and it's complimentary on board Royal Caribbean. There's normally a strawberry, a vanilla, and a chocolate. Strawberry might be hard to come by, but it's one of my favorites. Coca-Cola Freestyle sections, stations, this will show you where they're at if you've bought the refreshment package, or if you just want to see what's available in CocoCay, you can do that on the last option. Again, we already kind of talked through excursions a little bit, but you can come through here, book your excursion, pay now, and see what all is available in Nassau, or, if you've got several other ports that you're coming up on, it'll list all those as well. The internet option here does not seem to be doing anything right now. So, you see me clicking on it? Nothing's happening. I do already have an internet package. Traditionally, this is where you'd want to go to get your internet or buy your internet. You can do it from a laptop if you brought one, but you can go in here and do it there. I wonder if it works on this one. If I click on internet packages there, perfect. You see that I can reserve it now or buy it on here. So it does walk you through how to do the internet package. If it's just a weekend though, you don't really have to get the internet package if you have a good international plan. Coming back to our home screen, safety. This you will want to use before you get to the ship to watch your safety video, as well as listen to the 7 short and 1 long blast for the emergency horn. If you don't do this before you show up, when you check in, they will ask you to listen to the demonstration that they're going to do. So this will allow you to get to your cruise quicker, and that is always the main goal for a weekend sailing. I'm going to skip on account because that shows you all of my account information, but that's where you're going to go to see how much have you spent? Have the onboard gratuities hit? Did I spend anything in the shops? Did I buy drinks? And it's also going to show you what credit card you have on file or debit card. You'll be able to also update that card. I've not tried that in the system yet, so hopefully it works well. But if you want to change the card, maybe made some additional purchases or decided, actually I want to get points on this one, you can always switch that in the app or go to guest services. For depart, this is going to take me back to the profile picture, and it's going to give me the information for me getting off the ship. So you're going to get the luggage tags in your room that you can put on your suitcases, and if you allow the stateroom attendants and the stewards at the port to take these out for you, or the porters they're called, you're going to want to follow this time here. If you're doing self-assist, you're simply just going to walk your bag off yourself, go whenever they open it up. They'll send you an actual letter. That's not included in here for some reason, but they will send you a letter to your cabin. Health. This is going to talk about basically how to stay healthy. You don't really need to read all this. You will know all this. It is intuitive. The interesting thing that they have here is they don't list what to do should you get sick. So on Royal Caribbean, if you have a medical emergency, dial 911 from a ship phone. If you dial 911 from your phone looking at the app, you're going to get some random 911 call center that is on shore, and it's going to do you no good. Make sure you're using the ship phone to call 911. Normally, there is a non-emergency number as well to get up with the medical staff. Here on Royal Caribbean, that is *51, I believe. Don't hold me to that. I'll put a caption if I need to update that. But that is the health information if you need to get some medical attention. And then you've got stateroom here, which doesn't work on Freedom of the Seas. And I think that it does work on the newer ships that are out there that have more technology to them, but it doesn't work on Freedom of the Seas for us. The other thing that I'll quickly call out in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to have invite to chat. So if you want to message other people, I honestly don't know a lot about this because I have never actually used it because I buy the Wi-Fi package, or I get the Wi-Fi package when I come on board. So I just use my normal messaging tools and use the data in order to do that. But my understanding of how this works is you're going to need to have a linked reservation to that other person in order to chat with them. It is free. There used to be a fee for it, but these days there's no cost, but you got to have that linked reservation. Be on the safe side here. If you are buying the Wi-Fi, I would use ways you would communicate because it's probably going to be encrypted. If you're communicating via the Royal Caribbean app, just know the Royal Caribbean's going to be able to see everything that you're writing and they can log that. And that's just a privacy concern that I personally have. All right, so that is a very quick rundown of how to use the app, everything that is listed there. I'm so glad that they have made some improvements to it. I look forward to it being improved even more in the coming years as well. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, hoping you now know how to use the Royal Caribbean app and you quickly find where you're looking to go on your next Royal Caribbean sailing.
Now that you know how to use the Royal Caribbean app on your devices, let's now look at how to navigate the Royal Caribbean website.
So I am getting ready to go on a cruise in just about another month. And I wanted to go over how to book shows, because if you're going on an Oasis class cruise, you're going to need to book shows about a month in advance. Usually it starts on the first day of the month before your cruise, but like today, they surprised everyone and they opened up shows for an early June cruise on today, April 16th. So here's how you're going to book your cruise shows using your Royal Caribbean login on their website. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to click sign in. You are going to log in using your login details. And the passcode, and then you'll hit sign in. Once you are logged in, you're going to see your account, and right at the bottom, you're going to see where your cruise is located, and you are actually going to click right here where it says plan my cruise. Once you hit entertainment, you're going to be able to see, I've already reserved mine because you want to book these as soon as possible. They will fill up, times will fill up, preferred times will be gone before you know it. So you want to book these as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to show you what it looks like to click through so that when you are ready to book yours, you can see what it looks like. So you're going to click on the actual entertainment that you want to see, and you're going to go over to this button over here where it says reserve. You'll click on that. It'll ask you for the guest name. You will click on the guest's name, and then you're going to hit add to cart. It's not allowing me to do that because I've already done it. But then you'll go to the cart and check out. And once you click checkout, it will show you that you are reserved. And so you can check that also in your email. You'll get an email confirmation.
The final informational video relates to the online check-in process.
Greetings everyone, this is Danny from hardtravel.com, your Royal Caribbean experts, and today I wanted to take a few moments to dig into the check-in process for your cruise. Checking in for your cruise is incredibly critical, and it's even more important that you do it in a timely manner. It's going to make getting to the ship, getting on the ship, and experiencing your cruise so much better if you do it early on, as soon as it's available. I'm going to dig into why and go over all the details here in just a minute. But keep in mind, when you're ready to book your next Royal Caribbean cruise, make sure you reach out to the experts at Hard Travel. We know the spaces inside and out. We have an amazing relationship with the cruise line, and we know we can help craft the cruise vacation of a lifetime for you, your friends, family, or group at an incredible value, and get the Hard Travel signature service every step of the way. Now let's dig into the actual process of checking in. Now, before you start the actual check-in process, you're going to want to gather a few things with you to make it nice and simple. Now, keep in mind, you can check in on a computer by logging into the Royal Caribbean website and accessing your account. Personally, I find that doing it on a tablet or a phone is much simpler, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So you're going to want to have your device ready, charged, and of course ready to go, but you're also going to want to have a few other things. You'll want the ID that you're using to travel. Now, we always recommend that you travel with a passport book with at least 6 months validity remaining on it from the end of your trip. But in some cases, you can travel with a state-issued ID and a birth certificate. You're gonna wanna check out those exact details on RoyalCaribbean.com or by checking out the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative. This is through the State Department. It'll talk all about the ID that you're gonna need to travel. So you're gonna wanna have all that with you, and I do recommend that you actually have the fellow travelers with you as well, because you're gonna take a picture for security. That's gonna make it nice and simple where you start at the terminal and head right on through straight to your room or suite. Now, when you book your Royal Caribbean cruise, you're gonna wanna set up an account on RoyalCaribbean.com. Now, of course, if you already have one, you're gonna use that to log into the app. Now, I highly recommend that you download the app on your phone or a tablet, I recommend a phone because you're going to use this throughout your cruise on board. Whether you're accessing it to do the chat feature, or you want to check out your schedule, or even reserve certain things, you can do that with your app while you're on board. Now, the first thing that you're going to do is find the cruise that you're checking in for. Now, if you have multiple cruises, you can select from a list, but if for whatever reason or another you can't actually see it, all you have to do is click on the button to add a cruise, and then you're going to look it up with your last name, date of birth, and reservation number. Once you do that, it's going to load your cruise vacation. Now, once you select the correct cruise, what you're going to do is you're going to click on the little person in the top right-hand corner. That's going to take you to the cruise itself. You'll scroll down and there'll be a blue button that says Start Check-in. Now, check-in actually occurs between 30 and 60 days prior to your cruise. With your final payment being between 75 and 90 days, that's a really good time to check and see when your check-in will open up. That can change just a little bit, so I do recommend that you go back after final payment a couple times and see when the check-in's gonna start. This is really important, especially if you want to get an early check-in time so you can arrive at the port and start enjoying right away. Now, the next step is just to click on the blue button that says Start Check-in Now. Now, I mentioned earlier you're going to want to have several things with you. This is really critical because once you hop in, you're going to see that you have check-in for each passenger on your cruise. Now, you'll first have the travel information button. Now, when I click that, what it's going to do is it's going to take me, for me personally, so this is Daniel, it's going to take me in and allow me to start the check-in process for me. Now, the very first step is actually to scan in the identification you're using to travel. Personally, I'm going to be using a passport for this cruise, as I always do, but you also can select several different options here. Maybe you're traveling with your passport and your enhanced driver's license. You'll also have the ability to do birth certificate, state ID, birth certificate, military ID. Those are the combinations we talked about that you can find on RoyalCaribbean.com. Now, once you select what you're going to utilize, you're going to scan it in. So for me, as I mentioned, I'm going to use my passport. So as I do that, it's going to use the camera on the phone itself. Now, keep in mind, if you've never used it to check in before, you are going to have to click the button to grant access to the camera. Now, it's really simple. I just take the passport itself, I'm going to hold it up, and what it's going to do is it's going to use the bar on the bottom and it's going to capture my information. So it's already been done for a few seconds. So now my passport information is loaded in there. I'm going to continue to scroll, and the next stop is the security photo. Now, this is the photo that you're going to utilize throughout your time on board. When you head to the ship, they're going to look at you when you use your SeaPass card to scan in. They're going to see that it's you and give you access right onto the ship. They're using facial recognition software in the terminals and on the ships themselves to make this a really nice and seamless experience. So I'm going to click the button that says Take a Photo. I'm going to look at the camera itself, give it a little smile so they can enjoy that smile when they look at you each and every time you board. And now I've got the security photo in there. Now, there's two buttons that you can select. You can select it just for boarding, or you can select it for boarding and photography. If you select photography, that means it's going to give them access to that picture, and as they take pictures of you throughout your cruise, with your permission, of course, always, they're going to be able to access those. So you click your SeaPass card in the photo area, then it's going to pull up all the photos that you take throughout your entire cruise. So it's up to you, but I grant access to both. Now, the next step is selecting your country of residence and country of birth. For me, that happens to be the United States. You select the one that's perfect for you, and then you're going to put in your loyalty number. Now, the next step is putting in your home address. Now, after you put in your address, you're going to put in some emergency contact information. Now, this does need to be somebody who's not traveling with you. Maybe it's a friend, a family member, but essentially if there were a true emergency, this would give Royal Caribbean someone to access to notify them of that emergency. Now, after you've input that information, the final step is to put in your credit card. Now, the great part about doing it this way is you're not going to have to do it again when you get on board the ship. Now, all you have to do is click on the button, and if you've worked with them previously, if you've already been on a cruise, it's going to store your credit card information in the app itself, just like in the cruise planner. You can select that card, or you click on the button, and you can add your own credit card or debit card as well. Now, keep in mind, you have the ability to add this for all the passengers in your room. That way you can link it together. So I'm going to use one credit card for myself, my wife, and my children. Now, the final step is to agree to the terms and condition. This is something that you have to do to go on board the cruise. So you'll click, you've read the terms and conditions after you've read them, of course, and then you're gonna go ahead and hit continue, and that's gonna take you through the final step of check-in. Now, after you've completed that information, the next step is to select your arrival time. Now, the arrival time that's available to you will be based on when you check in. Many of our guests check in the moment it becomes available. Once again, you'll be able to see it in your app roughly about 60 days ahead when it will open up for you personally. Right now, I'm checking in very, very late, so there's only later check-in times available. That said, I'm going in Star Class, so I've already worked it out with my Genie, but I am gonna select a time because you have to do that to complete the online check-in. Now, the final step is going to be the health questionnaire. This is where they're gonna ask you basic questions on whether you've been ill recently or not. This is something that you'll find on every cruise experience. And of course, you're gonna find it in a lot of tour experiences as well. But the thing about that is it's not gonna open up until the day before your cruise. So that is actually gonna be left blank until that day. You should get a notification in the app, but you can do this the day before your cruise or that morning before you head to the port. Now, you'll notice right below that, it also has View Set Sail Pass. So I can actually access my Set Sail Pass now, even before I finish the health questionnaire. My recommendation is that you go ahead and click on that. It's gonna open up your Set Sail Pass. Now, one cool feature is once you do that, you can add it to either your Google Wallet or your Apple Wallet if you want to have that there for quick access. You can also take a screenshot of it, and I really recommend that you do that because sometimes when you get in the terminal, maybe there's a Wi-Fi issue or the internet's not working exactly right, you're gonna have that Set Sail Pass and you're gonna breeze right through to head on board and enjoy your cruise. Now, the next step would be to check in each and every member of your travel party. It's gonna automatically populate everyone who's in your reservation itself. But at the very bottom, there's a button you can click on where it says Add Guests. Let's say you're sailing in a 2-bedroom Aqua Theater suite with 6 guests in 2 separate reservations. You can add them and you can check them in as well. Same thing, you're just gonna need to have the last name, their date of birth, and the reservation number, and you can go ahead and complete the check-in for your entire party. Now, I'm sure by now you can see why we prefer to do it with the phone. When I've done it myself, it's taken about 2 to 3 minutes per passenger. Less than 10 minutes, my entire family's checked in, ready to head to the port and start enjoying our incredible Royal Caribbean cruise. Now, keep in mind the app can do much, much more than that. We have other videos for you to peruse on the cruise planner items and so much more with Hard Travel. Now, keep in mind, if you want to have the best Royal Caribbean experience, make sure you reach out to your Hard Travel advisor to book. We know the spaces inside and out. We have an amazing relationship with the cruise line, and we know we can help craft the cruise vacation of a lifetime for you, your friends, family, or group at an incredible value, and get the Hard Travel signature service every step of the way.
Selena with Chaplain Global Consulting Group will notify you when check-in is available for you. Thank you once again. Remember, I am here with you every step of the way as we are guiding your world of travel, one journey at a time. Chaplain Global Consulting Group promises to provide expert advice, personal service, stress-free planning and unforgettable memories. We will see you next week for Lesson 2.